Everyone hates oversleeping. It strongly stands at my number 4 most hated thing, just barely behind winter, tsunderes, and Genshin players.
Do you like minors?
Yes.
And I'm not a heavy oversleeper. I only do it once every 1 or 2 months. Which in my opinion, is still way too much. I knew it was because my sleeping schedule was garbage. When having to wake up at 6, I was going to bed at 10. Then I'd watch TikToks till 11, or sometimes even all the way up to midnight, grasping for that final dopamine hit. After that, I'll set the alarm, where the text would say, 5 hours and 52 minutes. And even though I knew how horrible I'd feel in the morning, I kept doing the same thing, night after night. Overall, I'm sure a bunch of other students struggle with dreadful sleeping schedules as well. And the main reason for that is definitely the school's horrible timetable. Some people prefer waking up earlier, because that'll also mean we'd have an early finish and more free time. But personally, I like to sleep! Because it doesn't matter whether we start at 8 and finish at 2, or we start at 10 and finish at 4. I'm going to sleep at the same time regardless.
But Gabfr, have you ever thought of just going to sleep earlier?
It's not that easy. Humans have something called a circadian rhythm, which is basically your inside clock. It determines the time your body gets sleepy, and the time your body decides to wake up. And they're different for everybody. That's why some people are early birds, while the others are just superior. And for a night owl like me, I found it pretty difficult waking up early overall. And I wasn't the only one struggling with this. My classmates and friends all had the same issue. So while my peers chose to consume unhealthy quantities of caffeine in order to keep themselves sane, I stayed away from all that crap. And did hard drugs. That's a joke. Mom and Dad. I don't do drugs. Often. And even though substances such as caffeine and nicotine do help you stay awake during the night, they take a huge toll on a teenager's mind. You don't need it, buddy. There's a bunch of natural ways to not have to drink those, but they're pretty unsexy, since the only healthy cure for sleepiness is just getting more sleep. And it doesn't help that the modern world doesn't properly understand how sleeping even works. Let's say if you have to wake up at 6 and need 8 hours of rest, you just go to bed at 10, right? Wrong. You still need to fall asleep, and we all know nobody's doing that instantly. Especially since you're imagining epic scenarios, which are just gonna reactivate your brain and keep you awake till the later night. Also, it's proven that only 80% of your sleep is actually valid! Why? I don't fucking know. So in reality, if you want to get 8 actual hours of sleep, you need to go to bed at least 1 to 2 hours earlier.
But Gabfr, I don't want to go to sleep earlier. I haven't had my daily dose of TikTok. And the
Boys!
Or I'm legal right now. I can't miss out on that.
Your sleep is not worth a couple of games with your homies. You're putting your tomorrow self-health at risk, bro. Drop the controller and do your future self a favor. Alright, now we're in bed. How do we fall asleep faster? No phone. Blue light makes your brain think that the sun is up and drops your melatonin levels. That's a sleeping hormone. And I know it's hard to not scroll on TikTok before bed, but there is an easy solution for that. Delete it. Delete TikTok. Right now. Oh, you won't do it? No, okay. 181.20.24. Alright, we've done that. Next, we're gonna use the military method. You probably heard of it before as, this will make you fall asleep in 2 minutes. No, it doesn't make you fall asleep in less than 2 minutes. But it speeds up the process significantly. Okay, how do you do it? You're gonna tense up your muscles in specific areas of your body, and then relax them. First, we'll do it with your face. You squint as hard as you can, and then relax. Next, we do that for shoulders, arms, torso, fingers, yada 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 yada, all the way down to your feet. Once you finish, imagine yourself in a comfortable place. I like to think I'm cuddling someone, since I suffer from chronic loneliness and schizophrenia. Get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head. But you can imagine yourself anywhere, like a beach or a grass field. The choice is yours. And once you're in a comfortable place, just keep repeating yourself the phrase, sleep, sleep, sleep. And I guarantee it'll knock you out right away. Try that tonight and tell me how it goes in the comments. Or DM me on Instagram. Shameless plug? Yeah, it is, fuck you. Also, sometimes I find myself in situations where no matter what I do, thoughts just keep arising and I can't really seem to rest my mind. When that happens, I open up my journal and just write whatever I can think of. You see, your brain has a weird mechanism. When you write a lingering thought down, it stops repeating in your head and gets hardwired to the paper. Also note that it takes a while to fix your sleeping schedule. Heck, I sometimes still struggle with it. But no matter how hard it gets, always remember that everything is influenced by the quantity of sleep you get. And sometimes lack of sleep even causes dementia. And sometimes lack of sleep even causes dementia. And sometimes lack of sleep even causes If you're even more interested in how to fix your sleeping schedule, I suggest watching this video next. But I am talking now! Also, do you guys ever get that feeling where you wake up and put off the alarm, but your brain tricks you into thinking you actually stood up and did something, but then you wake up for real, and you actually didn't do it at all, and they're still laying in the same position? Or does that just happen to me? Am I going insane? Get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head.